Hey everybody, my name is Jo Beckwith and this is my channel Trauma Talk. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about another sort of social thing, cultural thing, media thing that just happened, and that is the comments that Tony Robbins made about the metoo movement. Now, Tony Robbins is a superstar in the motivational self-improvement sort of world. And I want to begin by saying that he has come out after this fact and apologized. He wrote a letter on Twitter apologizing. He's gone on different, I think, morning shows and apologized as well. I wanted to address a couple things that he said in what he said that was wrong and explain why it was wrong and why it matters. So if you don't know, Tony Robbins travels the country and the world giving conferences on self-improvement. And oftentimes these people stand up in the audience and talk about something they're going through, and it's usually really intense. And this one woman stood up who was a survivor of sexual abuse or sexual assault, and somehow they got on the topic of the Me Too movement. And he really attacked, I'm not sure if it was her so much as the Me Too movement, and said essentially that women are trying to gain significance and by putting other people down, and that was the whole point of the Me Too movement, which simply illustrates the fact that he does not understand what the Me Too movement is about at all. And the comment that I really wanted to focus on was this. In reference to women speaking in the Me Too movement, he said, "Anger is not empowerment. What you're seeing is people making themselves significant by making someone else wrong." There's a lot wrong with what he said, and it is really disheartening because this is a person who sets himself up as someone who really understands human psychology and healing from trauma, as someone who has survived childhood trauma himself, which I'm very sorry for. But a lot of people do believe that sort of a statement, that being angry is wrong, or that if you stand up and say that someone else did something wrong and that's wrong and it's not okay and I'm mad about it, that you're somehow putting them down or trying to make yourself significant. I think that's the reason why we see so many survivors just torn to pieces in comment sections on YouTube videos and just comment sections in general, where people are eviscerating them for telling their stories because they're accusing them of trying to be significant by telling their story, which is just 99.9% of the time not true. If you're angry at people who have abused, harassed, assaulted you, that is a normal, healthy emotion for something horrible that has happened. Anger is part of the process. Anger is a stepping stone on the road to empowerment, if you want to call it that. And you're not making yourself significant by putting other people down. You're telling your story, and you have every right to tell the truth. And I think maybe where people get stuck, and I'm only saying this because this is where I got stuck, is that I think we start to believe that we're going to injure or damage other people by speaking out. That's why I didn't say what happened to me to the police for 2 weeks, because what kept going through my head on a repeat loop was, I don't want to ruin his life. I can't ruin his life. Oh my God, I would totally ruin this guy's life if I came to the police and said that I was raped by this guy who was a pastor and well respected in the community. But what I eventually came to realize after years of counseling was that there's nothing wrong with speaking the truth. You have every right to speak the truth, and you are not ruining someone else's life or attempting to make yourself significant or putting someone down by simply stating the facts. If something happened and you say that something happened and you're mad about it or not mad about it or whatever it is, you have every right to say that. And when someone who is as powerful as this man, Tony Robbins, who is a very powerful man, stands up in such a public way and says these kind of things, it really makes me sad. Tarana Burke is the woman who was credited as responsible for starting the Me Too movement. An amazing individual, and she spoke out on Twitter about the things that he had said, and a couple of the points that she brought up were these. I think this was the most important one, and I'm going to read it directly if you don't mind. She said, "Survivors are not complicit in their own abuse. Speaking our truth is part of healing and is not a ploy to gain significance," which is 1,000% true. By telling your story, by speaking truth, by putting things in the light, You're not trying to gain significance. You are on a journey of healing. You are telling what happened. You are speaking your story and nothing else. She also said that this movement is about making sure that survivors have the resources to heal after things have happened. That's the whole point, because horrible things happen all the time and resources need to be there to heal, and healing is not silencing people, which is what he was trying to do, which is heartbreaking because he is such a powerful person and people listen to this man. And the last thing that she said on Twitter, which I'll also read word for word, is Tony Robbins, if you want more survivors and less sexist businessmen, maybe you'll understand what we want. We want safety, we want healing. We want accountability, we want closure. We want to live a life free from shame. That's the reality of the metoo movement. Sir, please do better. And I completely agree with everything that she said. Now, I'm sure someone watching this video is about to comment, now, there are a lot of people who are trying to gain significance by lying about stuff that's happened in the Me Too movement and it didn't really happen, and that's wrong, and that is wrong. If someone is lying about something that happened, absolutely. That's 1,000% true. That's horrible and should never happen, and the reality is that very rarely happens. Sexual abuse, harassment, and assault are incredibly common. Women mostly, and men mostly, do not speak out. Speaking out takes a lot of courage and should be encouraged, not silenced, not told that people are doing it to gain significance, not told that they should essentially shut up. So Tony Robbins, we do appreciate your apology. It was needed because what you said was wrong. The Me Too movement is about healing, is about empowering women to speak and know that they are not alone. And you can do better. I hope that you and your organization do better, because women and men deserve it, and you have a very powerful and strong voice to make an impact in this country, and I hope that you use that to work towards healing this wound in our country that so many people have been affected by and that your words have made worse. Thanks everyone so much for listening. I am Jo Beckwith and this is Trauma Talk. I appreciate you tuning in. I release videos every other day on topics like living through trauma, mental health, mental illness, and life after and with all of the above. So I would love to see you in the next one. So do not leave this channel until you hit subscribe if you'd like, or like if you're on Facebook. I'll see you in the next video. Please hang in there and let me know if there's anything I can do to help you guys. Thanks.